Hi, my name is Denise Salmon. I'm the managing broker of Remax Crest in North Vancouver and Remax Masters in West Vancouver. So the question that we're going to answer today is, I went into multiple offers last night. My offer was better than the one was accepted. What can I do? So basically it boils down to the seller has the right to accept any offer that they like. It's not always about the price. So obviously as a buyer's agent, you're going to write a contract that is in the best interest of the buyer with best price, best terms and conditions, best completion dates, and that's what goes on the contract. But sometimes behind the scenes, there's something else that affects the seller's decision-making process, and we need to be aware of that. So what is it that the seller is looking for? If they've been living in the home for a long period of time, you may find that they have a very strong emotional attachment to the home. So the highest price is not always what's of most interest to them. They might actually be looking for a family like theirs that's going to move into their home and look after it and care for it the way they did. Maybe a family that's a better fit for the neighborhood. So there are other factors coming into play, and as a buyer's agent, you do need to be aware of those. So as a buyer's agent, there are a number of things that you need to take into consideration. What you actually write in the contract is one thing, but again, as I said, what's going on behind the scenes for the seller. So if you can take a look at the history of the home, you can see when it last sold, and then you can figure out how long it is the family's been living in the home. When you viewed the home, you can tell whether there's kids living in the house, they've got pets, how involved they are in the neighborhood. So that also gives you an idea of what kind of attachment the seller's got for the property. Then it's a case of how do you present that? Because your job as the buyer's agent is to present the offer in the best light possible. You've got one shot at a first impression. So if you can get in front of the seller, that's the ideal. If you can build a relationship, a bit of a rapport with the seller, and sell them on your buyers and who they are, why they want to buy this property, and appeal to the sellers on that emotional side. If you can't get in front of the sellers, then you're going to have to email it in, most likely. Send a cover letter, not only from yourself, but get your buyers to write one about who they are, why they love the property, and sounds a bit corny, but add a picture. Send a picture of who the buyers are so the seller knows who they are dealing with. I have had an instance where I asked the listing agent why the other offer was not accepted. It was considerably more money. But the problem was these sellers felt it was cold. There was no sort of preempt as to who the buyers were. It was emailed in with no cover letter. They didn't have any idea of who these people were, and they actually didn't trust it. They sold the house to a couple that their realtor came in and sold them on who the buyers were, and they loved it. So they were willing to sell for less money, but get someone in the house that they felt would be a perfect fit for their home and their neighborhood. So long story short, make sure that you know everything you can about the property and the sellers. So when you go into these multiple offer situations, you're presenting your buyers in the best light so that they stand a better chance with the sellers.